Oh, never mind.
Okay, a little bit about me. I am half Vietnamese, half American. My mother was a Vietnamese nurse, my father American GI. I'm a war baby. I think it's great how they met. I mean, you know, they found love while dodging bullets. I can't find love and I have Facebook. What does that say about me? I had some rough times as a teenager, but my mother, she would comfort me, she would say, "You think your life's so hard? You know what I'm doing when I'm your age? I'm fighting the communists." She couldn't find examples from her life to make me feel better. She would think of other things. "You think your life's so hard? Look at Anne Frank. My God, people tried to kill her, and yet you think people good inside. Look at the Elephant Man. He all ugly in the face, and then he said he's happy every day." I guess compared to Anne Frank and the Elephant Man, I really don't have any problems. My mother didn't understand American customs like the sleepover, going to someone's house for dinner. My best friend Richard invited me over, and she'd be like, "Wow, your bed not good enough for you? I not feed you enough? You go to the house, you want to sit on the table and beg like a dog for food? You don't need friends, you have family. What if you're in the street begging for 1 cup of water? Who give you the food? Who give you the water? Your friend or your family?" And I think, why does every scenario end up with me begging for food? My mother, she's well, I would say she's a little over dramatic. One time she said to me, "Steve, I think I have the AIDS." I said, "You think you have AIDS?" Well, this is back in the 80s, you know, when AIDS was popular. I said, "Why do you think you have AIDS?" She's like, "Oh, I die all the time now." I was like, "I think maybe you're just getting old." "I'm not old, I have the AIDS." I said, "Okay, well, you know, you're a heterosexual, 50-year-old Asian woman, monogamous. You're in a very low risk group. I see on TV, anyone can get the AIDS." Yeah, she didn't say the point. So like a week later, she comes to me, she said, "Steve, I have the cure for the AIDS." Okay, well, she had found this root in the backyard that she recognized from Vietnam. And I said, "Well, how do you know it works?" I'm like, "I tried it on myself. I no longer have the AIDS." So I was very happy for her. So I come from a large family. I have 8 brothers and 5 sisters. And which is great, we can all play, you know, team sports with ourselves, but there was no privacy. And I think back, you know, going through puberty, I wondered how my brothers and myself managed to masturbate without getting caught. You know, the thing is, the only time you could be alone in the house is if I was sick from school, but I had to be really sick. So I'd be laying in bed going, "God, I want to throw up, but I must jerk off while I have the house to myself." We were kind of poor. And we would see Americans, you know, with their chewing gum, think that's so cool. I mean, chewing gum is a luxury. So we would share gum. So I would chew the first day, and I'd give to my little brother and sister, and they would chew the second day, and so on. But the joke's on them, because I didn't buy that gum. I found it on the ground. So when I tell people I'm half Vietnamese, they're usually shocked. But when I tell them I'm gay, not so much. I remember my first date with a guy. Well, actually, he told me he was going to be at this club one night, and I said I'd be there too, so in my mind we were on a date. But before that, I had burned off half of my eyebrow trying to light a cigarette. So I said, "Just draw it in, it'll be fine." So I go to the club, and he's great, he's really into me, and we're having a wonderful time. We go outside to get some fresh air, and I come back in, and he's all different. You know, I realized because it was raining outside, I went to the bathroom, and I realized that my eyebrow was gone. So anything I'm saying to him sounds like I'm being sarcastic. "Yeah, I'm having a really good time. Yeah, let's do this again." Well, it wasn't a second date, but I had an attitude problem. I had another great date. I went home with this guy back to his apartment, and for some reason his bathroom wasn't working. And we were drinking, so we ended up peeing in empty beer bottles and any containers we could find. You know, it's really classy. So I woke up the next morning, and he was in the kitchen. He got up before me, and I saw this big thing of apple juice next to the bed. And I didn't realize that he had gotten up, drank the apple juice, and refilled the container with his urine. So I'm really thirsty because I'm dehydrated from drinking. I take a big swig. Right as he walks in the room, I say, "Hey, I think this apple juice has gone bad." "No, that's not apple juice." So the thing was, you have to bring up this story. You'd be like, "Steve, tell me about the time that you drank my pee." "Accidentally drank your pee." Accidentally? That's such a big word there. You drink someone's pee one time. Well, that was embarrassing. But have you guys ever told a lie when you were drunk and it came back to haunt you? Well, anyway, this is when I was living in New York. I had some friends over who were drinking. This friend, Roseanne, she was visiting from Long Island, and she'd heard how dangerous the city was, and I said, no, New York is completely safe. So, like around 3 a.m., we were really hungry, so I said, I'll go to the deli and get us some sandwiches. So I walk out the front door, and I tumble down the first flight of stairs. But I was okay, because I landed on my head. So I walked to the deli, it was raining outside, and I go in, and I order sandwiches, pay for them, and then the guy goes, hey, you know your head's bleeding. But I didn't know that because it was raining outside. I thought, maybe New York rain tastes like blood. So I go back to the apartment, and of course my friends are freaking out, you know. And of course, instead of telling the truth, I said, oh my God, yeah, I was almost mugged. I mean, there were like 3 guys, and one of them hit me, but I was like, no man, my friends are hungry, I'm taking the sandwiches back no matter what. And they believed me too, so. Weeks after that, my friend Roseanne would bring up the story of how dangerous New York was, and then I was almost mugged, and finally I got tired of it, and I was like, you know what, I wasn't mugged, it was a drunken fall, it was one of those falls where you keep falling, and you can't stop, you hit rock bottom. Well, she said, that's the story of your life, isn't it? You know, drinking is dangerous. I prefer acid. I love it when people say, let's take acid and do this. Let's take acid and go to Disneyland. I'm like, no, acid is the activity. You don't need anything else. I had a tripping body in college, and we could spend hours looking at the carpet. You know, we could see the Aztec develop their civilizations like ants. I'd be like, oh my God, here come the conquistadors. One time we watched the Brady Bunch marathon, and the TV wasn't even on. Everything. So we did decide to go to Six Flags one day, and we're like, well, you know, on acid, of course. I said, this is going to be great. You know, we're standing in line, we're getting ready to go on the ride, and we're so excited. We get to the front of the line, and it's a food stand. Let's go on that line. That must be a good ride. It's really long. Funnel cakes again? Well, we never did end up getting on a ride that day, but we had a great time anyway. And do you know why? Because we were on acid. If you're on acid, the world is your amusement park. All right, guys, that's it.